Many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeks for abundance will turn his eyes away. As a nail sticks fast between the joinings of the stones, so does sin stick close between buying and selling. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house will soon be overthrown. As when one sifts with a sieve, the refuse remains, so the filth of man in his talk. The furnace proves the potter's vessels, so the trial of man is in his reasoning. The fruit declares if the tree has been dressed, so is the utterance of a conceit in the heart of man. Praise no man before you hear him speak, for this is the trial of men. If you follow righteousness, you will obtain her, and put her on as a glorious long robe. The birds will resort to their like, so will truth return to them that practice in her. As the lion lies in wait for the prey, so sin for them that work iniquity. The discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom, but a fool changes as the moon. If you be among the indiscreet, observe the time, but be continually among men of understanding. The discourse of fools is irksome, and their sport is the wantonness of sin. The talk of him that swears much makes the hair stand upright, and their brawls make one stop his ears. The strife of the proud is bloodshedding, and their revilings are grievous to the ear. Whoso discovers secrets loses his credit, and will never find friend to his mind. Love your friend, and be faithful to him, but if you betray his secrets, follow no more after him. For as a man has destroyed his enemy, so have you lost the love of your neighbor. As one that lets a bird go out of his hand, so have you let your neighbor go, and you will not get him again. Follow after him no more, for he is too far off. He is as a roe escaped out of the snare. As for a wound, it may be bound up, and after reviling there may be reconcilement. But he that betrays secrets is without hope. He that winks with the eyes works evil, and he that knows him will depart from him. When you are present, he will speak sweetly, and will admire your words. But at the last he will writhe his mouth, and slander your sayings. I have hated many things, but nothing like him, for the Lord will hate him. Whoso casts a stone on high casts it at his own head, and a deceitful stroke will make wounds. Whoso digs a pit will fall therein, and he that sets a trap will be taken therein. He that works mischief, it will fall upon him, and he will not know when it comes. Mockery and reproach are from the proud, but vengeance, as a lion, will lie in wait for them. They that rejoice at the fall of the righteous will be taken in the snare, and anguish will consume them before they die. Malice and wrath, even these are abominations, and the sinful man will have them both. He that takes revenge will find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. Forgive your neighbor the hurt that he has done to you, so will your sins also be forgiven when you pray. One man bears hatred against another, and does he seek pardon from the Lord? He shows no mercy to a man, which is like himself, and does he ask forgiveness of his own sins? If he that is but flesh nourishes hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sins? Remember your end, and let enmity cease. Remember corruption and death, and abide in the commandments. Remember the commandments, and bear no malice to your neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest, and wink at ignorance. Abstain from strife, and you will diminish your sins, for a furious man will kindle strife. A sinful man disquiets friends, and makes debate among them that be at peace. As the matter of the fire is, so it burns, and as a man's strength is, so is his wrath. And according to his riches his anger rises, and the stronger they are which contend, the more they will be inflamed. A hasty contention kindles a fire, and a hasty fighting sheds blood. If you blow the spark, it will burn. If you spit upon it, it will be quenched. And both these come out of your mouth. Curse the whisperer, for such have destroyed many that were at peace. A backbiting tongue has disquieted many, and driven them from nation to nation. Strong cities has it pulled down, and overthrown the houses of great men. A backbiting tongue has cast out virtuous women, and deprived them of their labors. Whoso hearkens to it will never find rest, and never dwell quietly. The stroke of the whip makes marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaks the bones. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue. Well is he that is defended through the venom thereof, who has not drawn the yoke thereof, nor has been bound in her bands. For the yoke thereof is a yoke of iron, and the bands thereof are the bands of brass. The death thereof is an evil death, the grave were better than it. It will not have rule over them that fear God, neither will they be burned with the flame thereof. Such as forsake the Lord will fall into it, and will burn in them, and not be quenched. It will be sent upon them as a lion, and devour them as a leopard. Look that you hedge your possession about with thorns, and bind up your silver and gold, and weigh your words in a balance, and make a door and bar for your mouth. Beware, slide not by it, lest you fall before him that lies in wait.